Bobby, release the Kraken. Hello everyone and welcome to the Bearded Geeks, the weekly grab bag of topics covering movies, comics, video games and TV. My name is Jags, Beardmaster Extraordinaire. With me tonight... I always fuck that up. Every week I fuck that up. With me today...
I don't feel so bad now.
I'm just going to have another swig of this scotch.
You're on a roll too. That's going well.
My co-hosts, the Larry and Curly to my Mo, Bobby Baxter, Patrick Brown. G'day, boys.
Hello.
Hey.
How you going?
I'm sick.
I'm well, for once.
Yeah.
You're a little bit close to your mic, Pack. Just move it away just a little bit.
There we go. Yeah, there's that. How's that?
What about you, Bob?
Close to my mic?
Got Zombie Bob over here today. This Mountain Dew. So, Pat, tell us about your lavish Queensland holiday.
I was away for 6 days up in the Gold Coast.
Shit bastard. Fuck it.
With the family. It was good.
Prick.
Yeah,
How cold was it here last week, Bob?
-3, I think we
yeah.
Bloody rubbish.
It was around the mid-20s there. Oh, probably more like...
About the mid-20s.
No, it was like 23 or so, but it actually felt like summer that we have here.
Get fucked.
I was like, this is nice.
Was everyone looking at you weird? You like getting around in your summer clothes, and all the Queenslanders are like, fucking
What's wrong with this guy?
Yeah, I didn't bring any shorts or anything. So I was like, wearing all my thick clothes. But no, it was pretty good. Nice and relaxing time. Well, actually, I wouldn't say relaxing. Try going on a holiday like that with a couple of toddlers. It's pretty stressful, but it's good. Like Mason's pretty full on. He's like, but apart from that,
what was the worst thing that they did?
I'd say the plane ride. It was the worst part.
Over or back?
Both.
All plane activity.
Yeah. You're trying to sit a 2.5-year-old in his own seat on a plane for there's 2 different planes connecting and, like a total of 4 hours or something. So
And you're just doing that nervous dad smile that you always see because all the other passengers are on there fucking just daggering you across the plane.
Hating. The mistake I made was just Mason could finally learn that he could take his seatbelt off on the seat. If I just left it on, he was fine. But as soon as he discovered, I'm allowed to take it off, he's just climbing over, he's looking at the people behind on the seat behind.
You should have taken a box of those Marvel discs things, signed them all and just handed them out. Just keep people happy.
Keep them all happy.
Trust me, it might be worth something.
But it was pretty, it was alright after
Take
that.
my only Hulk disc.
But got to see
sorry.
Got to see the Marvel exhibition up there, which was really cool.
In Brisbane, tell us all about that.
Yeah, we left the kids at home for that. It was me.
So you took a holiday from working at Marvel to go and check out more Marvel?
Yeah, pretty much. Loved it though. It was me and Jimmy. We just took a drive up to Brisbane, and got there, and it was pretty good.
That was at the Gallery of Modern Art, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Yep. And
it was just all movie stuff.
Amazing
MCU stuff.
Yeah, so it's all basically how it's called creating the cinematic universe of Marvel. So it's all just everything movie that we've seen so far in the past 10 years, all mashed into a big museum. So all the Iron Man suits, there's giant Hulk, everyone from
my
Avengers.
Penis can only get so erect.
Exactly. And it's good. And, I actually thought it would go a bit longer, though. About halfway through. No, sorry, I thought we were only halfway, and then there was the exit sign, and I was like, oh.
You walked out the back end.
Yeah. But no, it's good. There was some stuff from Thor Ragnarok. They showed, Hulk's bed that he sits on. It's like a giant... Like teeth.
Green stains.
Yeah, it's like a skull.
Yeah.
Stain on the
Yeah, he's got some giant bed that he must rest in, like a big god, he's the shit, and some props there as well for his battles, and heaps of other cool stuff.
Did they have lots of different Iron Man suits there, or
I had about I think in like full suits, I'd say six or so, and then the rest were like, just a bust and then the head or, other bits and pieces. And then they just had like a full hallway across that just has like the concepts and all the artwork. And one of the coolest things I thought was Guardians of the Galaxy, and in that room, they had like the making of, like when they're, designers are drawing and they're coming up with concepts of how Rocket might look and Groot. And they actually had like it was more of a interactive kind of display. It looked like a sheet of paper that someone might have drawn panels and sketched out designs on, but they're animated. So it's like, it's an actual screen. It looks like a sheet of paper, but it's like it was a projector actually. And it was just all moving with like, it was really cool to see. So seeing how it was all made. And then
what else happened?
There was
any other highlights?
There was another room in there that had TV that you could stand in front of, and it'd show like a little baby Groot or an Iron Man. You can choose your character, and then you just stand in front of it and move, and it's moving with your actions, so you can like
you
dance.
You sent me a Snapchat of that. They're like kids and stuff doing like cool Iron Man poses and stuff.
Really cool. That was pretty cool. But it was awesome. Loved it.
Did you recognize any of the suits? Like when we were at Marvel in New York, they took us around some of the rooms and showed us like Ant-Man suit and Iron Man and stuff. Did you recognize any of those?
No, the ones that I saw were, I think they were from the earlier movies, maybe.
Yeah.
Because I remember the ones we saw were probably the later ones, weren't they?
I think we saw like one,
and they had
top
like
secret one, and then a couple other.
Couldn't take photos. We weren't allowed. They were like, hell no. Yeah, but no.
You nearly got kicked out of Marvel before he even got in there, because he walks into the foyer just with his phone out, like, oh, look at me. And the chick behind the desk's like, no phones.
I know. I was so disappointed because my whole, like, in my mind, I always wanted a photo. My dream was to have a photo in New York in front of like the Marvel sign, in like even if it was just the foyer, and just have a photo in front of like the big Marvel logo. And I couldn't even do that. She's like, no phones.
So that's why you got that Marvel logo in your office.
Yeah.
yeah. Pretty much.
You sent me a good photo of you in front of the Hulkbuster armor, like full size scale Hulkbuster armor.
That was huge. Yeah, it would have been to scale.
Did you reach over and like touch anything? You weren't allowed to.
Yeah, I think you could touch it. They weren't like movie quality stuff, but they were pretty good replicas.
Schmicko.
Yeah, you could tell they weren't steel and all that though. They were made out of some kind of plastic, but
styrofoam.
Yeah. So I think they were okay with it. People kind of touching some stuff like that.
Yeah, cool.
But yeah, really cool to see, especially when it's to scale and it's that big. And there were all different rooms of, one for Thor, one for the Guardians, and I was a bit disappointed not to see any Spider-Man though. I really wanted to see that. Like even if it was just from the Civil War Spider-Man,
yeah,
that would have been cool to see in there. But yeah.
All right. Did you see any of the golden bikini Maids?
Oh, no. No.
All the way to Queensland, didn't even say it. Unbelievable.
Didn't go into surfers, actually, like right in the city centre. Should have.
23 degrees is like -5 to them. They're fucking getting out of that.
Yeah.
We're like woolly coats and shit. Yeah. What about you, Bob? What's going on in your realm?
Sickness.
Did you have any applications for handmaids or?
So what? Sorry.
Any applications for handmaids at offbob.com?
Oh yeah. The list is growing.
I'm just going through them now, trying to find the right one.
We did finish the season in the end, though. And,
yep.
It looks like there's definitely going to be more.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, loved the season all the way through. As I said last week. What else have I been doing? I don't know. I've been very boring this week. Took a couple of days off.
Be quiet. Did you play Battlefield? You've been playing Battlefield.
I have.
Mate.
Yeah, I have. I took a couple of days off work because I was too sick.
Yeah.
Back into it today, and it was really hard. Really, really hard. But
have you guys been touching Overwatch much?
No.
We played Battlefield last Saturday.
Yeah.
And I didn't eat till like 10 o'clock at night. So I'm like, I'm so hungry. I just want this to end so I can eat. But it didn't end. It just kept going and going. Goddamn operations. I've been watching season 1 of American Gods. Holy fuck. The best show you are not watching.
Yeah.
Bob. As soon as I'm done, Bob, I'll pass that over to you so you can watch it.
I'll take it.
Yeah. I'm there with you. I'm only
I'll bring it around bloody tomorrow night or something, drop it off or whatever.
Awesome.
For the weekend.
Yes. It's good. I like the vibe, the vibe it's thrown out. It's pretty cool.
Oh, man, it's just...
Yeah.
Explosion of, like, your visual senses. It's amazing.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
I've seen the open sequence thing just on
it's
YouTube
great.
or something. Really cool. Very.
Yeah.
I couldn't work out at the start if the little bit of the intro was a little bit of a mix of Hammer of the Gods at the beginning. You know, they did it on the Thor Ragnarok trailer and that as well.
Oh yeah.
At the beginning of Girl with the Dragon Tattoo as well, they did what is his name? Atticus Ross or whatever did a cover of Hammer of the Gods for Girl with the Dragon Tattoo.
Yeah,
for the opening credits.
That's right. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Good show. Recommend it. Watch it. 5 stars. Haven't even finished watching it yet. I've got 3 episodes. 3 episodes to go. I'm just not going to talk. I think
that scotch is making it worse.
Oh, man, that's all right. All right. So what are we talking about today? On today's show, we're doing a topic, and our topic is going to be best and worst movie sequels. We're not doing that yet, Bob. You looked a bit panicked just then.
I just thought I heard something roll on your desk.
What, this?
Oh, it must be that.
It's the zip on my new jacket. Got it today. It's pretty schmick.
You're looking pretty fly.
Thanks. Pretty fly for a white guy.
Oh.
Pat's just brushing off his $150 jacket over there.
I just spilled my beer all over me.
That hoodie's only brand new too.
Yeah, it's pretty fresh.
All right, we'll start at the top. Biggest thing of the week. Game of Thrones started this week. Pat, did you watch it?
Yes.
Bobby, did you watch it?
I got Foxtel now. Well, not now, and I tried to watch it. And, I pretty much watched it.
Made it to the end.
Or with big fucking gaps in the middle. Thanks, Foxtel.
What? So it was lagging a bit choppy.
It was fucking terrible.
Oh.
Yeah, it was the worst.
They didn't anticipate how big it was going to be, and everyone's just trying to watch it, and the whole thing just crashed.
You reckon that's why?
Yeah, it was because I signed up for Foxtel now. This is the online streaming service thing they've got, so it's sort of like Netflix. I think for that package, it's like $15 a month.
Yeah,
and you get all the HBO shows and everything, and watched some of the old episodes of Game of Thrones throughout the day to sort of catch up.
Refresh.
Worked perfectly. It was fine. So, wife gets home from work, sit down, have some dinner, and then we're like, okay, Thrones time, and fire it up, and it's just like, oh, get fucked. And then it finally gets into the show, and it's like, someone walks in a hallway, whatever they fucking do on Game of Thrones, and then he's about to speak, and then it just goes screaming circle again, and we're like, oh fuck,
get stuff.
And so I'm like, you hit the pause button and just like give it a few minutes, and sort of go down the kitchen, fucking get a drink, and try and calm down. Come back to the lounge room, press play, and it works for about 15 seconds, and then again, we're like, oh my fucking God. So jeez. I think what I'm going to do, because I'm trying to do the right thing here. Like, I've said this from day one with Game of Thrones. Like, if you make a reasonable, decent, cheap way for me to watch it, and I'll do it. Like, I'll pay for it. I don't pirate stuff.
I've never stolen anything off the internet in my life.
But I would never want to do that, if there was an easy, cheap way that I could enjoy stuff.
Convenient.
Here's the thing about, you found out the hard way about Game of Thrones in the last couple of years.
Yeah.
You pretty much have to watch it on the day.
Yeah.
If not, you have to avoid social media until you watch it, because guaranteed someone will spoil it for you.
Yeah. It is so that big. that big of a show that everyone watches it and spoils it.
Yeah. And the fact that we've only got one place and one like service that like gives us that option to watch it.
Foxtel.
Yeah, fucking assholes. And so this year they're like, you know, we're offering this thing, a streaming service. It's going to be cheap, reasonable. I'm like, okay, I'm not going to be a fucking hypocrite. I'm going to put my money where my mouth is and do the right thing this year. And what do? They fuck it up. So I'm considering. I'm considering my options, whether I stick with it, pay the service, and just fucking download the episodes and watch them anyway, that way, or, I don't know, cross my fingers and hope that it gets better. I don't know.
Yeah, that sucks.
The worst thing you want is, like, to get to a cool episode, like a Battle of the Bastards type episode, and there's this big fight scene, and someone goes to swing a sword, and it's just like, buffering.
Yeah, right in the, you know, that...
And you notice with Netflix, like, I mean, Netflix has fucking got this shit down, I think. Like, I never have a problem with them.
No, they're good.
No matter what. Like, even if the quality drops and you see a bit of pixelation and stuff, it never fucking brings up that spinning
never, ever.
No, ever, no.
The only time it'll ever do that is, like, at the start of the episode where you might have a slow connection and it's just trying to get ahead.
Yep.
That's fine, but in the middle of an episode, they never fucking do that. And
the worst thing about Netflix, you start a show and it'll bring up like the standard definition until it catches up until you get that high definition picture. And that only takes about 30 seconds.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yeah.
That's like the worst thing about Netflix.
Yeah.
And if you just have a weird dip somewhere in the episode, it will just drop down to standard again. And it won't stop fucking playing, which Foxtel, oh my God, just killed me. Yeah.
But I thought it was a great episode. Great episode, Bob?
Yeah, from what I could piece together.
Great episode, Pat.
Yeah, definitely a great start to the season. That's what I thought, especially that beginning.
All right, I'm going to jump into the news. So, just going still with Game of Thrones, Kit Harington was on Jimmy Kimmel the other day and said that while they were in Spain, he filmed 15 hours of fake scenes because paparazzi were like constantly following them. So when they knew they were somewhere filming, like, and paparazzi were nearby, like up on a hill or something like that, they intentionally filmed fake scenes. So, because there are all these shots of, like, you know, Kit Harington with, like, I don't know, some other character he's not having anything to do with in the show, and they're interacting and stuff, and then the next photo is just, like, the three actors, like, looking up at the paparazzi. So, yeah, they filmed, like, 15 hours of, like, fake scenes so the season 7 plot wouldn't be spoiled.
Oh, yeah.
CSI Westeros, like he's just walking around with a pair of sunnies on, looking over the top of a corpse, and then takes them off and says some one-liner. Yeah! Like, wow, Game of Thrones is going to be really different this season.
All right, Matt Reeves, who is directing the new solo Batman film. I'm just gonna be quiet. Let's just keep it up.
So Ben Affleck's not doing it no more.
Shut up, Pat. I'm talking. No, Ben Affleck has stepped down from directing. So Matt Reeves, who directed Cloverfield and the last two Apes films, Dawn and War.
Ooh,
he's ditched Ben Affleck's script. So the script that Ben Affleck, Jeff Johns, and Chris Terrio wrote. Thrown that out the door, out the bin, in the skip, out in the harbour. It's gone. So his idea for the film, he wants to do like a dark noir detective story, like focus on the detective side of Batman, which we haven't seen before.
I like it.
Like you see a little bit here and there, but nothing.
It's always
like
kind
concrete.
Of this thing in the movies. They've kind of said that he's a detective. Now you pass it on to me. I can't talk. But you know, they've always said in the movies like he's this great detective, but they've never actually shown it anywhere.
He's never felt like it, has he?
No.
And even when he is like in The Dark Knight, there's a scene with the fucking bullet. Yeah. And he cuts the brick out of the wall. Like, I watch that now. I still don't know what he's trying to accomplish by cutting the... Like, how do you, like, shoot in more bricks and then pick one out that's similar and then reconstruct the... I don't understand how that works.
Yeah,
but it worked for Christian Bale, so I'm happy. But yeah, they've tossed that out. I guess, you know, it's his vision and that as well, so he didn't want to go off someone else's script. And I guess Ben Affleck and Jeff Johns and Chris Terrio, they would have been under the pump. Because Ben Affleck like wanted to take the time to do it, like to really get it down tight, but everyone's just like, we want Batman. The studio's like, we want the next Batman movie. We want it. We want it. We want it now. But yeah, I think that's half the reason why Affleck dropped out, because he didn't have the time to work on it, and also Live by Night tanked. Yeah, and he might have been a bit scared. But yeah, this is good. Like, Matt Reeves comes in and just start from the ground up and, just build. And, so I'm all for that.
It's still going to be Batfleck, though.
Well, you still hear all those rumours that Affleck doesn't want to be Batman anymore. He wants to get out of it. I think it'll be okay as long as, like, he's not directing it now, so there's not that pressure. So he's just going to turn up, do his thing, get paid and go. So even if he does this one Batman film and then maybe he doesn't do any more, I don't know. We still have Justice League.
We still have be an amazing film, and he goes, "Oh fuck yeah, I'm in."
He's like, "Hell yeah, I'll be back." If Matt Reeves comes back, I'll be back for another one.
Yeah.
What else have I got here? Incredibles 2, Bob. Incredibles 2 will start exactly 1 minute after the first film.
Oh, cool.
Okay.
So after they've defeated Sinestro, not Sinestro, what was his name? Syndrome. Syndrome. See, he knows over here, Dad. Watching Pixar movies all the time. So it'll pick up directly after the first one finishes.
Yeah, awesome. With the mole guy.
That's right. He comes up out of the ground.
Oh, your dad over here listening.
Not a dad.
What else do you watch with Mason? What does Mason like to watch? Animated movies.
All of them now. Like we've just
The Good Dinosaur. He was into that for a while.
Yeah. Yep. He's really into that. I've been getting him into The Lion King now. Like, he's usually into just strictly 3D kind of animation. That's because that's all he's really watched for a long time. But now, he really likes The Lion King, just some 2D stuff.
Fuck yeah, I love The Lion King.
Yeah,
get that 2D on for him.
He loves everything. I even got him that little, I've got him a few shorts as well, like animated shorts, kind of like that one called Piper, and it's just a little bird. That was done like last year or something at the start of a movie. That's like super high def, like the way that Pixar have done that, amazing. He loves that. Just stuff like that.
Yeah, sweet. Speaking of The Lion King, I'll jump onto I got a bit more live action Lion King news here. At the D23 Expo, Jon Favreau came out and showed a couple of minutes of The Lion King that they've already done. Yep. They recreated the intro with all the animals going across the savannah, and Pride Rock. Apparently, Pride Rock looks amazing, like live action. Like, you imagine what a live action Pride Rock would look like. They've nailed it. It looks amazing. And they said you see Rafiki. Rafiki looks very similar to what he does in the cartoon, just not as sort of animated, a little bit more realistic, sort of like what is he, a baboon, whatever.
Oh yeah.
And Simba in that as well, and he does the old mark across the forehead and stuff, and holds him up. And they said Simba looks really good. He just looks more like a live cub. He's a lot more furrier or whatever. Doesn't really come across in the cartoon, but. Yeah, and Mufasa and all that. They said it looks outstanding.
Awesome.
And then there was this other...
I'll be the judge of that.
There was this other rumor...
I'm still pretty dirty on the fucking live action.
This is the Lion King, though.
Yeah, I know. That's my problem.
Did you watch The Jungle Book? Have you seen that one?
Yeah, I didn't rate it.
Didn't like it?
I was talking about it last week when
you weren't here.
Just jet setting around.
Rockstar. Yeah, so, and there was a rumor that Hugh Jackman was going to be the voice of Scar, but apparently that was debunked. But I'm like, I could see Hugh singing all those songs. Be prepared. Because the guy can fucking sing. He's got some mad pipes.
Yep.
Not like you at the moment.
No. Rusty pipes.
Anyway, the biggest news of the week, Doctor Who.
No.
Now, none of us are Whovians in this room. I couldn't get too...
The biggest news of the week, and you said Doctor Who, and everyone just sort of looked around. And he just like... It was like a little tear welled up in his eye and went, oh.
Now, I wasn't going to bring this up because I'm not a Doctor Who fan. I appreciate Doctor Who fans. They can go out and enjoy it and whatever. But, I watched a bit and it's okay, but it's not really something I can get into. Oh. But the newest Doctor, the 13th Doctor, is going to be the first ever female Doctor, played by Jodie Whittaker. who was in Attack the Block and Broadchurch. Have you ever seen Attack the Block, Bob?
No, but I've seen
with John Boyega and that in it?
I've seen Broadchurch.
I watched a bit of it. I think half.
Attack the Block's actually really good. It's a lot of fun, that movie.
It's an alien movie, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. John Boyega's in it, who played Finn in Force Awakens.
Oh, okay. Right.
Cool movie. So, yeah, somebody asked me today, they're like, are you going to talk about Doctor Who? And I'm like, yeah, all right, I'll bring it up. So there you go, Doctor Who fans.
Show. We have to. No,
and
I used to like Doctor Who when I was a kid. Like, he used to play in the afternoons after school.
I used to watch that alongside, was it Professor Gadget? Is that his name?
Inspector Gadget.
Inspector Gadget. I can't remember. It's been that long. Oh, Inspector Gadget, the cartoon. Yeah.
Oh, fuck, that really hurt my throat. That's really bad.
Oh.
But, yeah,
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, I think it's cool. They've been talking about female Doctor for years, and they've finally done it. So that should be really interesting. I'll probably even watch a couple episodes of that if it was on the telly, but I don't watch a lot of telly, so
I've tried
fuck all chance of watching it.
As an adult, and it just doesn't sit with me.
Marky's a big fan.
Yeah, he's been into it for forever, hasn't he? Yeah.
I don't know.
I think
Probably.
as far as I remember.
Yeah, as far as I know. Yeah, him and I were talking about it the other day. Yeah, he's a big fan.
Yeah.
And the last bit of news that I have, it was confirmed in the last day or two, the running time for The Dark Tower. Mm-hmm. How long do you think it's going to go for?
I'd say 2.5-ish.
I'll go 3.
95 minutes.
Oh,
Whoa,
short.
That's so short.
An hour and a fucking half.
What?
I know, right? I was a bit taken aback, but I'm like, maybe this is going to be a lean, mean, well-toned machine.
Yeah.
We'll say. That's got me a bit worried. Not worried, but I'm like, maybe 110 minutes at least.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah. I thought you were going to go, lengthy.
Yeah, well...
It sounds like there's so much material to pull from that, you would need a lot more time.
All the books combined, there's over 4,800 pages or something like that.
Unless
the first book's only 244 pages. It's not terribly long, but they're, like I said the other week, they're cherry picking from a lot of different places in the story and stuff. But
maybe they've filmed heaps and saved a lot of footage for the second movie.
Perhaps, or there'll be a director's cut or something like that on the Blu-ray, or who knows, there might be extra scenes or whatever added back in. But yeah, 95 minutes, that just seems a little bit lean for a movie like this, especially a book adaptation.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. You don't see many book adaptations that are...
Perhaps it was
under
purposefully kept shorter. So, right, you have to keep this... If you want the TV series and that as well... You've got to keep this leaner and under budget and at a shorter running time. Perhaps it's to keep people coming in. If it was a 2-hour plus movie, 2 hour 20, it might detract, people going in to see it. But if it's 95 minutes, people would be like, might just have Joe Blow walk in to watch it because it's a shorter film.
It's become sort of almost normal for a movie to go past 2 hours now, though. It's actually more rare that it'd be shorter like this.
This would be one of the first summer films ever in a very long time that's under 100 minutes. Because the average summer blockbuster now will go for about 2 hours at least.
Yeah.
Either side of the 2 hour mark. The average Marvel movie goes for 2 hours and 10 minutes.
Yeah, exactly. Plus. The only ones that are remain short are animated movies because they're, parents can't keep their kids seated for that long.
Yeah.
And that's about it. But yeah.
I don't know. It'd be interesting. Maybe shorter, they could fit more screenings in of a day. More potential to make more money. Who knows?
I don't know. Yeah. Well, I'll see what happens.
I'll go see it at least twice. Got to support it.
This will be one of those ones you'll watch 76 times. Like The Dark Knight.
Honestly, man, I can't wait. I'm really looking
forward to it. Yeah. That's good.
I just hope it's good. Yeah.
Yeah, I hope so. Most of all, that it's good.
Yeah.
But it was also confirmed that Idris Elba will be coming in for the TV show as well. So the TV series.
Oh, okay.
So the original plan was to do a film, TV series, film, TV series, film.
Yeah.
Okay. So maybe a shorter thing. Yeah.
The TV series would have more meat in it, more meat and story. Because in the fourth book, most of the fourth book is a flashback to when Roland was a boy. When he just became a gunslinger and his father sent him away, on his first errand. And where he meets Susan Delgado and he falls in love And yeah, the big chunk of that book is that story, Roland telling that story when he was a boy, when he was 15. and he became a gunslinger. So, yeah, the first TV series is sort of meant to be mainly that story.
So maybe the movie almost might sound like it's kind of like a first episode, really.
Yeah.
Like an intro to the characters, and then...
But I don't know, yeah, maybe it was purposefully done that way.
Yeah.
To keep it leaner, lesser budget or whatever, because it's only like a $60 million movie.
Oh, yeah.
So it's not terribly expensive. I mean, Deadpool cost the same amount. Look how much bank that did. So,
Yeah.
But that's, a whole different kettle of fish there. But yeah, you know what I mean.
How many minutes was the Game of Thrones episode this week?
There was an hour.
56.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
56 minutes. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought it might have been 80 or something. I was going to say, shit, that's like 10 minutes shy.
It felt a little bit longer.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was only, 50, just under an hour.
Yeah.
Bloody good. Love Game of Thrones.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Right. Anybody got anything they want to bring up? Any exciting stories? Any shocking revelations? Any deep, dark secrets?
Not really.
Very odd.
What was that? What was that awkward giggle?
Yeah, he's definitely got some deep, dark secrets.
Pat, tell us your deepest, darkest secret.
No, mate, I got nothing.
The sweat like dripping down his brow. What have you got locked away up in that little head of yours?
You don't want to know.
We probably don't.
Everyone, comment below what you think Patrick's deep, dark secret is.
Fan fiction. Patrick Brown fan fiction.
Whoever has the best comment, we'll give them a shout out and we'll give them a no prize or something.
There you go. Here we go.
The Secrets of Patrick Brown, Chapter 1.
Now you've started something.
Whoa, I can't wait to read these.
Okay, so we might jump onto our topic. Yes. So, because we're going to see War for the Planet of the Apes next week, and it's already out in the US, and the film before this, previous, Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, two
so good.
Great bloody sequels. Well, we haven't seen War yet, but from everything we're hearing, like, it's ace.
The best.
It's bananas.
It's already the best, mate. I know it.
I see what you did there.
See, because they're apes. The monkeys eat bananas.
Oh, and you just slipped on your own peel.
Get out. So because they're two epic, fantastic sequels, we thought this week we might do best and worst sequels. Does anybody want to start with a great sequel or a bad sequel?
I'll take a great sequel.
Hit me.
T2, motherfucker.
That is like...
Yeah.
If you had to pick top 5 sequels of all time, that would be in it, hands down. It would be one of the top 3.
The best sequel, you'd probably say.
Why?
Why?
It's
fucking perfect action movie.
It is. Yeah, it's perfect in every way.
Terminator in his prime.
Yeah, and it just, like, it's more interesting than the first film as well. Like, the first one was great, don't get me wrong, but...
The first one was more like a chase movie.
Yeah, they really, like...
Well, the second one's a chase movie as well, but yeah, the first one was more of a...
Yeah.
It was kind of like a horror, noir, thriller, chase movie.
Yeah.
Sci-fi. Yeah, it's one of those ones where it's hard to pin down as a genre.
With an antagonist as well that was just so fucking threatening and scary.
Unstoppable.
Yeah.
Wouldn't ever stop.
Would never stop and killed everything that it touched. Like, it did not fuck around. It was a killing machine and it was out there to fucking do its mission.
Yeah.
And Arnie was, like, just a great way to, like, switch the role completely. Take the first movie and flip it completely in the opposite direction, and now he's the protector and not the fucking...
Do you know a fun fact about Terminator 2?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, here we go.
It was apparently... when they were doing all the promo for it, so the build-up to the release, apparently they didn't spoil anything that Arnold, as the Terminator, was actually going to be a good guy this time.
Yeah,
so
they just...
All the promo
they just had the poster, didn't they?
Yeah, just with the red
eye. They just had Arnold
eye
on the poster that he was coming back.
Even any video was just his face kind of looking down and just looking up, and it was just his red eye flashing. There was no giveaway that... A lot of people assumed that, what's his name? The T-1000. T-1000 was the one that was chasing Arnold. Everyone in the trailers thought that he was the good guy, trying to, because he had the police outfit and everything.
Because you think so, wouldn't you? Because it's not until like 30, 35 minutes into that movie that you actually find out that Arnold's the good guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was the perfect build-up.
Because the scene in the hallway and he has the roses and he pulls out the shotgun and then T-1000 and he's aiming the gun at the shotgun of John Connor, and he's just like, "Get down, boom!"
It was the
Amazing.
perfect
Fucking.
And then you're like,
you think he's about to
Chills
get
just
John.
went up my spine remembering that.
Yeah.
Can you just can you just
perfect.
imagine someone going to the cinema in 1990 and watching this movie, and then all of a sudden you're like, "Whoa, he's actually the fucking good guy."
Yeah. I remember when it came out, like it got to VHS in Australia by about 91. Well, in my town by about 91, and I was about 6 years old. Should not have been watching Terminator 2.
Neither should I, but I did as well.
I did. I went and had a sleepover at my mate's house, and we stayed up late and like secretly put it on because I think his parents had like rented it out for them to watch, and we like stayed up late and put it on.
And they went to bed, and you're like, "Okay, now it's our turn."
And oh my god, like that movie just changed my life. That I fucking.
Do you know, like,
I realized how much I loved action films after I saw that one. Like that just changed everything.
Why it was so perfect, I realized was I think I saw something on it the other week where, like, the way that these Terminators are just so threatening is because in a lot of action movies, especially modern day ones, you just see them, they'll pick them up and throw them around. I think they did in Terminator 3, like Arnold just keeps throwing him across the room. Whereas Terminator 2, they do it perfect because if a Terminator touches you, you're pretty much dead first contact. Like, especially T-1000. Great example with the parents, and he just, from across the room, he can just put a blade through someone's head with his hand. You know,
the security guard in the mental hospital when he comes up out of the floor.
Yep.
And he's taking his form, and he just finger blade through the eye.
You barely need to get in contact with them. And if you actually look through the entire movie, the T-1000 doesn't get close enough to John Connor at all, really. Like, not close enough to touch him with a blade. Yeah. So that threat is always there. And
how freaky was that bit when he's chasing him in the car? And he's just running behind the car, like fucking full pelt.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh god. And like he gets that hand on there.
Yeah.
And a little hook thing.
Yeah.
And I think
he smashes out the back window and
and I think like a little bit of the hook hangs on the car, and like he's just sitting there and he like has to flick the hook off.
Yep.
And the whole time you're looking at this thing going, oh god, like that thing's gonna come to life and kill you. It's like that is actually probably, thinking about it, is as close as he actually got to John Connor in that movie.
And that scene, that whole scene you described, that is in the span of like 3 or 4 seconds.
Yeah.
So you just went through like this whole range of emotions in like 4 seconds.
Yeah.
It's nuts. It's perfect fucking movie. They took
to go back what you were saying though,
and made it better.
Pat, sorry, Bob. To go back to what you were saying about like the later sequels where, you know, in Terminator 3, they're just throwing each other around.
Yeah.
You know, that comes to a more modern day sort of watered down rating system, you know, PG-13 and everything and that.
A lot of body throws.
I imagine Terminator 2 in the US was rated R, easily. Because even when like the scene with the T-1000, where the cop guy's, I think he's on the bike, and he just walks up to him, he's like, "Hey, you okay?" And he scruffs him by the arm and pulls him, and he just blades him like right through the chest and out his back. Just like no talk, no
mucking
just
around.
Get out of my way. Through the back.
Yeah.
And if you watch the first Terminator as well, Arnold never really gets that close enough to Sarah Connor as well, like face to face to just break her into pieces, you know, with his bare
But the amount of
hands.
people he kills in that movie as well.
It's always just the gun from a distance where she can dodge or whatever, but she's never, that's why those movies work so well.
Because he doesn't have any info on Sarah Connor at all. All he knows about her is her name.
Yep.
And he goes to the phone book, and he looks through the phone book, and he just rips out the pages of the Sarah Connors, and he just goes from the top and just makes his way through and kills every single one.
All the
and then
Sarah
you've got
Connors.
the nightclub scene at Tech Noir, which isn't the nightclub, and he's going through the nightclub and he's trying to kill her, and Kyle Reese is trying to get her out, and he's just bang, 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 and just like aiming for her, but everyone in the way is just like collateral damage.
Yeah.
And then later at the police station scene, where he kills like all the cops.
You
Just
imagine a
to get to her.
TV show spin-off, I'm just picturing this now, of a detective investigating the Sarah Connor murders. Trying to work out what the fuck is going on. Why there's like 30 fucking Sarah Connors all dead within it, like, you know, 10k radius or something.
Yeah, in the span of like a day or two.
And there's biker bars being just destroyed and shit.
Yeah.
That'd be
And this is
amazing.
where the third one and Salvation went wrong, because you watch them, especially in Salvation, Christian Bale as John Connor, you look at all the times Terminator's hand-to-hand combat, Terminator just picks him up, throws him right across the room. And there's another time he just whacks him with his hand and he just whacks him in across the room. You know, usually if it was done right, maybe if it was James Cameron doing it, it would be a bit more distant and a bit more threatening, you know.
I think there's a scene
build up.
with, like, the T-500 as well. The guys were like the miniguns. I think there's a scene where someone gets close to him and he just gives him the big back forearm and knocks him away.
Yeah,
but
stuff
then,
like that.
Like, yeah, Terminator 2, like, the best, perfect sequel. But then you have Terminator 3, which was an okay action film. It was okay. That ending was just
good
quite good, actually.
It's good to see Arnie back, I thought. That's the most.
But then you have Salvation, and then we get to the worst sequel side of this list, Terminator Genesis, which is...
I didn't even go near those.
I remember watching it, and I think I kind of liked it at first, and then you just let it sink with you a bit, and it's just a lot too... It's too... Yeah, it doesn't have any kind of those old... It was more nostalgia, wasn't it? Like, really. And I couldn't really ever see a Sarah Connor in... what's her name? From
Emilia Clarke.
Yeah, I couldn't see her. She's... Yeah... More.
I think she did an okay job.
Yeah, she did
just okay.
Yeah, it was more the likeness.
She was no Linda Hamilton. No.
Couldn't see.
Because in Terminator 2, the scene...
a badass. That's fucking awesome in that movie. Like, she's awesome in that movie.
That one scene where she goes to kill Miles Dyson, like, she's been training for years to, like, get John ready to take on Skynet and all this stuff. And then she finds out who Miles Dyson is, the guy who creates, you know, Skynet. And in essence, she becomes the Terminator herself.
Yeah.
To go to kill him. Like, she's remorseless. She's thoughtless. You know, she's just out to complete her mission.
That's very smart.
And it's only until she's there and the wife and child are in the way is where she, like, her humanity comes back.
She has a heart.
And she breaks down and she cries. And then that's when John and the T-800 come in. But also, I'll jump off Terminator.
So I picked a good one then.
Yeah, you did. You picked, like, the best one right off the bat.
Sorry, guys.
But I'll jump off this.
Off your list.
And I'll go Aliens, which is also...
that was very close on mine.
Which is also a James Cameron film.
Yes.
So, like, James Cameron, like, in, like, the late 80s, early 90s, was, like, the king of sequels.
Yeah.
Because he made two great, fantastic, different sequels.
Yeah.
He did direct the first Terminator, but he didn't direct the first Alien.
You could safely say he really made Alien what it is. Like, the whole fan base is off that one movie.
I wouldn't say that, Patrick Brown.
But, probably the first mostly. But
yeah, I would say that, but I appreciate. But out of the whole Alien universe, the films, the one I always go back to watch the most is Aliens, and not the theatrical cut, the extended cut with the auto guns, the best. But lately I go back and watch the original Alien more.
So I found in Aliens, all the characters, you know, all the mercenaries, all them, they're actually really likable. You actually really like,
Marines,
each of them, and you actually don't want them to die, you know, so you kind of feel for each person, you know, it kind of makes that build up a bit more, whereas more of the other, a lot of other movies, they're more throwaway, you know what I mean? And you don't really get that connection, whereas I found Aliens, there's a lot more. I liked each of the mercenaries.
Here's one little cool tidbit about Aliens that'll ruin it for you every time you watch it now, because it ruined it for me. In Aliens, they didn't have the budget for, like, alien suits. So James Cameron said, I can shoot this entire movie with only 6 suits. So it was kind of like a Jaws thing. So every time they had to show the alien, like multiple aliens, had like the motion tracker. They're like, oh shit, there's hundreds of them. There's 30 of them. They're in the roof. The only time you see all 6 alien suits together is where Hicks looks up through the roof. Like Ripley's realized that they're actually up, coming through like the ducting and stuff. And he looks up with the torch and he spins the torch around and there's the 6 of them just climbing towards them. And that's the only time you see all 6 of them together. But every other time,
a lot of cuts and jumping.
Yeah, it just gives the impression that there's more than there actually is. That's just good filmmaking.
Yeah.
But yeah, he only had 6
suits. And a menacing,
suits.
scary foe. It's like you only have to see 1 or 2 of them to know you're fucked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, look at the trouble they had with 1 in the first film.
Yeah.
I mean, now there's hundreds of them.
Yeah.
You know? Great sequel. Best sequel. Does anybody have a bad or worse sequel? I've got a big list here.
I got a big one.
I got a bad one.
For me, anyway.
Show me your big one.
Well, I really like...
Wordplay.
I really like The Mechanic, you know, the first one.
Boo.
And then they did the second one. That is rubbish.
Patrick Brown, is that a Jason Statham movie?
Yeah. Love the Statham. He's a legend. But apart from that, another worse one would probably be... Wouldn't you say most of the Resident Evil movies are pretty bad? A lot of them.
Yeah, they're not.
You gotta almost have a good movie to say that the rest of the sequels are.
I'd say the first was the best. First, that's the reason they made all the other sequels.
The first was not good.
Wasn't that like? I thought the first everyone kind of.
I really at the
loved
time, like the first one when we were in college and the first one came out. At the time, it was my favorite movie at the time.
Yeah.
Remember?
Soundtrack.
Like I could tape the DVD.
Yeah.
Remember that time I taped it for all of us? Like, and I put the Slipknot music video at the end.
That's right. Oh fuck.
I don't know. Some of those sequels I kind of like for as stupid as they are.
Oh yeah.
They're fun because one man's trash is another man's treasure.
Yeah.
So there are a lot of people out there who like bad movies. I know a few people who like bad movies themselves, but yeah, one person's trash is another person's treasure. So. But on the whole, most people generally agree that they're bad films. Another bad film, bad sequel, Son of the Mask.
Oh, yeah.
The Mask with Jim Carrey.
Yeah.
And then they did Son of the Mask, I think it was like in 2005, 2006 with Jamie Kennedy. And I've never seen it from start to finish. I caught a bit of it. I think it was on All-Star once, and I was walking through the lounge room and I watched like a minute or two of it, and it was just awful.
Apparently it's pretty unbearable.
It looked, that's the word, unbearable.
And it's got the baby with, it's all cartoony.
Yeah, it's like this cartoony CG baby. It's awful. It looks awful.
The CG is horrible.
I don't think I even went near that.
Yeah.
God.
I might rapid fire a few.
Here's
go.
One I wanted to put in there that you guys might not have thought of. Anchorman 2.
Oh, yeah? Is that a good or bad?
Fucking shit out.
Shit.
I kind of like Anchorman 2.
I got about 15 minutes in and went, nah, can't do it, and turned it off. Like, nah.
Oh, have you seen the Jim Carrey bit where he's like, what's he say at the end? He's like,
if it was at the end, I definitely didn't see it.
It's after the fight, and he's like, every time he
because
beats someone down.
The Canadian news team.
Yeah, the Canadian. He's
the
Canadian.
nicest news team. And they're like, he hits one guy and it's like, sorry.
He has to apologise every time he hits someone because he's like really nice.
Because they're the nicest news team, yeah.
I like that.
Okay, well, I'm alone in that one then.
I didn't mind Anchorman 2. I thought it was alright.
Oh, no.
I'm going to rapid fire some great sequels. Stop me if you want to talk about it.
Joking on my beer, sorry. There we go.
Blade 2.
Is this great sequels?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I can't say I've seen it since I watched it at the cinema
I can't
when
remember
it came out. But I loved it then.
I think Trinity, is it? No, that's the third one.
That's a bad sequel.
Yeah, that was the poo one. Yeah.
That's the 28 Weeks Later.
Ah, yeah.
Is that a good one?
That's good. Yeah.
It's a good sequel. Here's one for the horror fans. Nightmare on Elm Street 3, The Dream Warriors, is the best Nightmare on Elm Street sequel. Because most people would say that horror movie sequels are pretty much all rubbish.
Yeah.
They're all just churned out to make money. You look at all the Halloweens and the Friday the 13th and the bloody Nightmare on Elm Streets and the Poltergeists and the everything.
Yeah.
Pretty much everything, horror movie sequels. But there are gems in between those two. What's another one? What's another good horror movie sequel? I don't know. I think I've got it written here. I'll get to it. Die Hard with a Vengeance.
Oh. Is that the last? Is that the fifth one?
No, it's the third one.
No.
That's one with Samuel L. Jackson. Jesus, Pat.
Oh, I can't remember him. I've never.
A Good Day to Die Hard is like the worst fucking sequel. I wouldn't even call it a Die Hard movie. Because Kate and I, we love to watch action movies. She loves to watch action movies. We watch all the Mission Impossibles.
Yeah.
Watch all the Die Hards. But when I put on A Good Day to Die Hard, like, I think she was on her phone for like half of it.
Yeah.
She's like, yeah, this is like, I even like Die Hard 4.0.
Yeah, I don't mind that.
Live Free or Die Hard in America. Like, I kind of like that movie. That's a bit of fun.
Do you think the fifth one's probably put it to bed now? That's it for Die Hard?
Fuck the fifth one. Like, that movie doesn't exist to me.
Yeah.
Die Hard all the way. Best Christmas movie ever made.
Yeah, the first one's awesome.
All right. I was actually reenacting. I was bored at work today. I was reenacting Die Hard scenes.
Yeah.
There's like a stainless steel like ventilation duct like downstairs.
You're just up in it. Your boss is like, "What the fuck are you doing?"
I just happened to look up at it, and I had like there was like a broom or something right next to me, so I grabbed the broom and I'm just like dunk dunk, just like pushing like all the panels. Just like I was Die Hard that burnt like 30 seconds of my day. Star Trek Beyond.
Oh, yeah.
I thought that was a good sequel.
I didn't see that one.
All right, skip that.
Was that the third one?
Yes.
Oh, okay, yeah, I saw the second one.
Is that the one with Benedict in it?
No.
No, that's Into Darkness.
Ah, right.
I haven't liked that movie.
Yeah, that's not bad.
All right, Corker sequels. These are hard because they're pretty much one story split into three. Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers, and Return of the King.
Yeah.
You can say the same with Back to the Future.
Yep.
Back to the Future Part 2 and Part 3.
Yeah, yeah.
They are parts.
I like all Lord of the Rings ones.
I love Lord of the Rings, man.
Yeah.
I get weepy. Weepy watching it.
That was an exciting time when those were coming out. Like
that was
the build up was
our
yeah
Star Wars.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Definitely.
Because we went there in the late 70s for Star Wars, in the 80s for Star Wars, but we had Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, that was rad. And yeah. Now the kids have got like Harry Potter. Well, they had it. You know, not generation, but the few years after us, we were a bit too old for Harry Potter.
Yeah.
Well,
Okay, so we've got Gremlins 2, the new batch, Scream 2, and then you go into Scream 3, Scream 4, which you'll probably call the lesser sequel, but they're still kind of fun in their own way. Return to Oz, which is one of the most fucked up, disturbing sequels. Like, Dorothy is... apparently, Return to Oz is more in line with the original book.
Yeah.
So, Dorothy's, like, in a mental hospital, and
Right.
she's, like, getting, like, electroshock therapy and stuff, and, yeah, there's, like, some disturbing shit in that movie. Like, not for kids. Like, remember when we were kids and our parents, like, rented us out, like, witches and stuff to watch?
Yeah.
And there's the scene in, like, the ballroom thing where they all turn to, like, Jim Henson grotesque witches and they turn the kids into mice and stuff. Like, I'm too young to be watching this, Mum. This is a bit dark for me. I'm only 5. Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade and also the Temple of Doom.
Yeah. Yep. They're good.
But then we've got Kingdom of the Crystal Skull as well, which some would say falls to the other side, to the worst sequels.
Taking a big old poo on the good sequels.
Don't you hate that when you get like, one of them, you got so many good, they're on a roll. I mean, take Spider-Man, for example. Spider-Man 1, great. 2, perfect. And then just 3, just straight on flop. Like,
Studio interference.
ruin the franchise completely.
Went on the flop.
Yeah. Don't you hate that?
Yeah, that's it. Studio interference.
Oh, yeah.
Money. Investors.
That's why I'm really...
It all gets too big. Yeah.
People want Venom.
People want Venom.
Yep. Patrick Brown wants Venom. So we got X-Men flicks, Days of Future Past, Back to the Future, Spider-Man 2, Jurassic World.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good sequel.
That's like medium. That's good.
It was medium.
It was medium.
Taking your word.
I don't think that like goes like raises the bar on the first one.
Do you know, I think it would have been great if it was Jurassic World, if it was a little more R-rated, a little more...
Little edgier.
edgier. You got that from the first Jurassic Park with the T-Rex scene. It was very just, whoa,
And especially The Lost World as well, because I went to the cinema with my mum, dad, brother and sister to watch The Lost World, and the scene where they're in the trailer in the rain, and then there's the shot from outside the trailer, and you have the trees, and it's raining, and it's night, and it's dark, and it's fucked, and you have the two,
That's fucked.
and you have the two T-Rex come out. There's one up this side, and there's one on that side, and you're like, whoa.
It's like the mum and the dad, isn't it?
I wouldn't like to be in that trailer right now.
The one scene I remember...
And then you happen to be like right on the edge of a cliff, and they're pushing you off a cliff, and like, I want to watch that now.
The one,
Put that on.
the one that I remember since I was a kid from that movie, Lost World, is when, toward the end, when he's in the city, and there's that guy, he's just in the video store, or he runs out of the video store, and he gets eaten or trod on. I think he gets trod on, from a T-Rex or something like that.
I think he gets eaten. That's actually David Kep.
Oh, he was the ship crashes into the thing and it gets out.
San Francisco, the T-Rex gets out.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And the dog's barking and eats the dog, and the kid looks out the window and it's got the chain hanging out of its mouth with the dog kennel.
Yeah. I remember it must have been the age I was then, but I was just like, whoa.
The scene that was a bit edgy, even at the start, the rich family that pull up at the beach with their yacht, and the girl runs into all the compies. And she gets attacked, but it never actually shows her where she's been attacked. Like, she survives and whatever, but... Yeah, the mum just sees her and screams, and then it cuts to Jeff Goldblum yawning.
Yeah. That's creepy.
You got the Harry Potter flicks, obviously. The Bourne Supremacy and the Bourne Ultimatum.
I was going to say that. I really like...
No, you weren't.
I like all the Bourne movies. I actually like them all.
Do you like the Bourne Legacy?
No, sorry. Only the Matt Damon ones. No, that one was...
What did you think of the newest one, Jason Bourne? Because
Yeah.
I fell asleep at the end because I was very tired.
I liked it. I actually really like that. It's good. There's something about him. I just really like those ones. Just...
Moby. Oh, baby. Then it fell apart. Marvel sequels. Iron Man 3. I would say Iron Man 3 is better than Iron Man. And definitely better than Iron Man 2.
Really? Isn't Iron Man 3 the one that people say was
I couldn't
the one
get
that ruined
through
it?
3. I watched about half of 3 and went, no.
Is that one
Oh,
with
no,
Guy
wait.
Pearce in it?
Maybe 2. Maybe it was 2 that I couldn't get through.
2 was with Justin Hammer and the Stark Expo and Whiplash. Mickey
Oh,
Rourke.
the Whiplash one.
that's the one. I think that's the one I switched off.
Yeah, that's the one that's not so good, is it?
Yeah.
Ooh.
I actually really like the first, I think, most, I would say. Has there only been 3 Iron Mans? Yeah.
I switched off Marvel completely, actually, after watching half of Iron Man 2. That's where... And that was that whole lead up to the Avengers movie. Like, I missed all of that because of fucking Iron Man 2, because I watched half of that and went, nah, I'm out. No more comic book shit for a while. Didn't watch
Did you go see The Avengers at the cinema?
No.
Oh, yeah, I did.
I watched it on DVD like a year and a half after it came out because everyone fucking kept telling me to
The hype.
watch it.
Avoiding the hype.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
even that, I mean, I think I missed the spectacle of the cinema with that. And so when I watched it, and the hype was so huge. When I watched it, I was like, oh, it didn't really do anything for me.
Sometimes the hype kind of turns you away.
Spoils a movie, yeah. Like,
It's
I was scared about the other week coming back after Spider-Man and going, whoa, Spider-Man! Because then, people are probably going to hear it and then go out and they might not have that same thing. Yeah.
Okay. What was I going to say? I've lost it.
Sorry.
About the Rocky movies.
Oh,
I mean, I haven't really watched the last few.
I like
the first
I
couple.
like Rocky. I do. The first one's more of a drama.
Isn't the second supposed to be the best sequel?
People do say that, yes. The second is quite dramatic as well. More of a drama. And then the third pretty much goes into your sort of generic 80s sort of 80s flick. Action. Well, you wouldn't really call it action flick, I guess you could call it. But I love Rocky 3. It's just so 80s, and I love it. They have like a robot servant and shit. It's fucking weird. Rocky 4, I like Rocky 4 as well. Rocky 5 is absolute trash. Worst sequel.
One that I'm surprised hasn't come up yet. It's probably on your list.
Hit me.
Jedi. Return of the Jedi.
Yeah.
Well, that's right at the bottom, Bob.
Sorry, I jumped the gun.
I was going to say Rogue One. That's pretty... I really like...
It's not really a sequel.
That's more a prequel, isn't it?
It's not really. It's more of a spin-off.
Is it?
But all
gonna say
right,
that
I'll
was
jump to
good.
it now because you brought up Return of the Jedi.
Sorry.
The one sequel that everyone always talks about is The Empire Strikes Back.
Well, I said Return of the Jedi.
Because you like them bloody Ewoks.
Yeah. No, I like both of those.
Wookiees don't live on Endor.
Everyone gives the Ewoks a hard go. I don't mind that whole sequence. Everyone goes, oh, bloody Ewoks, but it's fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like them.
I don't mind Ewoks.
Yeah.
Wicket.
Makes for a bloody good Battlefront bloody level, too.
Yeah, it makes a great Battlefront map.
Yeah.
What about...
I don't know. What can you say about Empire Strikes Back that everyone doesn't already know?
Yeah, I don't know.
Great flick. It takes her in a darker direction, which pretty much a lot of film sequels sort of emulate ever since. Like, say, Pirates of the Caribbean, for example. Dead Man's Chest, that went in a darker direction, a very Empire Strikes Back direction. Terrible sequels.
Didn't really work
to an
out
awesome
that way.
film. Curse of the Black Pearl is a fucking awesome movie. Batman Returns. And then on the worst film scale, Batman and Robin.
Hang on, Batman Returns. So, sorry.
To see you.
You mean the Keaton one, the very first. I was trying to work out
with
if you were talking about,
The Dark Knight's also a...
Fuck, Bob. You're jumping the gun.
Sorry.
Jesus.
Well, we're on Batman,
So, yeah. So
Batman 2 with Keaton, Michelle Pfeiffer as Catwoman.
and the Penguin.
Penguin.
Yeah, that was good, yeah.
Mad Max 2 and Mad Max Fury Road.
Fury Road is the best. It's the best ever.
That's
actually one of my top favourite movies ever, like right up there. I could watch that heaps.
No, you couldn't.
Yeah, not in a row.
How many times have you seen it?
Probably 5 times, I'd say.
5? That's a lot for you.
Yeah, it is.
When I bought the Blu-ray, I watched it every day for a week.
So he's already beaten you.
Yeah.
I saw it at the cinema twice. Pat and I went, and then I took Kate's dad, and we watched it in 3D. And yeah, I watched it like every day. It came out on Blu-ray.
Soundtrack is awesome. I listen to the soundtrack while I work as well. And it's just
I have it in the car as well.
Amps you up. It's good. It's really good.
You have it in the car. That's dangerous.
I do. Especially when the Dufore comes on.
Open up the sunroof. And I'm just swinging on the sticks.
What about
get my bass guitar out?
Right.
Pat, do you want to tell Bob about when you started to watch Mad Max 2?
Mad Max 2?
After watching Fury Road, you tried to watch Mad Max 2?
Oh boy, this
not a
good idea.
I can tell you if you want.
Yeah, go on, mate.
All right. So Pat was going to watch Mad Max 2, and then I quizzed him about it like the next day. What do you think of Mad Max 2, mate? Isn't it the best? It's awesome, isn't it? I got about half hour in, and I found it a bit boring, so I turned it off. And I never felt so insulted in my whole life.
You've never seen any Mad Max before.
I got up to
Fury
the bit.
Road, have you?
No, I did way back once, probably when I was a kid, and that was
Thunderdome?
That was a bad idea because I was
Master Blaster!
You don't appreciate it when you're younger either. But I think I got up to the bit where he was scoping out on the rocks with that guy, and he's like looking into the base, and then you get in there, and then I was just like, yeah. But I need to go a bit further, maybe.
Try watching the first one. That's kind of a boring movie.
Yeah. I did watch all the first.
Dude's doing burnouts in the Aussie desert.
Because the build up to Fury Road, I watched all the first.
I am the Night Raider!
Yeah. I watched all the first, and then I watched the second, and I think I got halfway. I was like,
wow.
Can't remember, and I was like,
All right, I might throw out some bad sequels, because I've still got some good ones.
All right.
The Dark Knight was right toward the top, but Bobby's already ruined that. All right. The Matrix Reloaded and The Matrix Revolutions.
I liked The Matrix Reloaded.
Oh, fuck off, Pat.
That was awesome.
Oh my God, get out.
Oh, that.
No, at the time.
Come on,
The
that was
Matrix
what
Reloaded
brought us
was awesome.
together. Come on. That's a good one.
Yeah, all right. For history's sake.
That's the first movie we watched together. That's our first mandate. Come on.
We just happened to turn up at the same place at the same time.
Yeah. It might be a bit dated now, but
Oh God.
Even at the time, I just remember the
green.
The CG in the fight scene, like where he's got the pole.
I do
and
remember
he's
that.
taking out all the Agent Smiths. Like,
I do remember that.
I remember when I had it on DVD and I watched it like a lot because I thought that was a cool action scene. But even then, I realized like
they're a bit floppy.
This was before like there was preference on CG. Like you would pick it apart
for action.
Even then, I'm like, yeah, you can tell, that's not Keanu because he's too rubbery, he's too stretchy.
Yeah, it was very
Really
rubbery.
bad. This is really funny we're talking about that particular scene too, because I was listening to another podcast the other week, the Rubber Onion guys, and they were, shout out to them, and they were talking about this specific scene as well, and it was something that I picked out when I saw it in the cinema, and I looked around as well, and no one batted an eyelid, and I was like, are you fucking serious? And so this guy picked it out as well. So there's a scene where he's like spinning around, like kicking the shit out of all the Smiths, and he like flings one of the Smiths into a massive crowd of other ones and knocks them all over.
Yes, I remember that bit.
Like bowling pins.
Mm-hmm.
When that happens, have a listen to the sound effect. They use bowling pin sound effects.
Oh, are you kidding me?
He goes...
That would ruin it.
Yeah, go back and watch it. Like I remember hearing that fucking sound and looking around like,
are you serious?
You fucking kidding me?
That's so... Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
I realised as well in that scene, because the CG wasn't that good back in the day, that everyone's wearing glasses. Neo's wearing glasses and the Smiths are all wearing black shades. because, you know, obviously if they didn't and it was eyes, you could just definitely make it out that that's fake as hell. But putting glasses on them,
that's Mass Effect Andromeda
version
version 1.
the eyes are the one thing that people connect to and if you look at them and it's like, that's a 3D character, it looks like it's done by a college student. That is, you know, you know what I mean? Back in those days, yeah, you couldn't pull off a full face that well.
Limitations. Yeah.
No, so good thing they put the shades on.
I'm pretty sure that whole scene won awards, like visual.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think it did. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Best thing you ever come of that movie was the MTV Movie Awards intro.
Yeah.
Sean William Scott and Justin Timberlake.
Morpheus.
What can we expect from the orgy? Machines!
I love it.
Oh,
Okay, some more bad sequels. Taken 2 and 3. Taken 3 is like, I couldn't even get through it.
Unnecessary. Totally. Ruined the first movie, if you think
The first
about
one's kind of fun. I wouldn't really call it a great action movie. I'd say it's decent. The word is I would use.
But the way
set of skills.
the way I think of them, though, is the first ended perfect, and it should be like, that's okay. You finally got your happy ending. Just live, you know, normal. If that was kind of realistic, you'd just live a normal, full life after that. But now they've done the sequel and then the one after that. It's kind of like, oh well, now we know what might have happened after, and it's like unrealistic and just unnecessary. You've just ruined the first movie.
And now there's a Taken TV series. It's like a prequel. With what's his name from Vikings? Can't remember his name.
Oh, right.
What else did I have on here? I just thought of something, but it slipped my mind. Oh, Spider-Man 3.
Yeah.
Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Yeah. I remember when it came out, Spider-Man 3, and I think I really wanted to like it and enjoy it. So I kind of did for a while, and then you just...
You kind of liked it because you felt like you had to.
I know.
That's kind of a bad rule to live by.
Yeah, I know.
I felt like I had to.
Because I was I was a deep fan, like, of that whole franchise, and then I just kind of forced myself to like it. And I was like, no, it's good, it's awesome. Walk out of the cinema, yeah, that was epic, you know. And then you just realise, but then you just watch it a lot more, and you realise.
You should have seen the crazy eyes on his head after he said that. It was epic.
Yeah.
Okay, bad sequels. Honey, I Blow Up the Kid. Godfather Part 3. I've never seen any of the Godfather films, but a lot of people say Godfather Part 3 is rubbish.
Yeah.
I think it's because Sophia Coppola's acting.
Have you seen?
I don't think I've seen any of the Godfathers.
JB Hi-Fi is open for another 20 minutes. We can get there in 10.
We are shit house. All three of us have not seen The Godfather.
I actually really want to watch the first and second because apparently the first is good, but the second is gold.
You'd have to watch them all, though, just to see what everyone's talking about with the third one.
Yeah.
And then apparently the third, they just went all Hollywood on it. And
Weekend at Bernie's 2. I'm actually a big fan of Weekend at Bernie's. I have a big soft spot. Fucking soft spot for that movie. What's wrong with me today?
You got Tourette's or?
You're coming undone.
I don't know what's wrong with me. I think it's a bit hot in here. I do have like a leather
jacket. You're wearing biker jacket on.
Got your leather on, mate.
And my scarf. Don't disrespect the scarf.
Yes, boss.
The X-Files, I Want to Believe. The sequel film, which is actually didn't have anything supernatural in it at all.
No.
It was just like a fucking serial killer or something at the end. You're like, this isn't what I signed up for.
Yeah.
I want aliens and supernatural Loch Ness monsters and shit.
That was really disappointing.
The Chronicles of Riddick.
Yeah, that was a big disappointment for me when I saw that.
They had the game.
I loved Pitch Black. I don't know if it really holds up as well as I remembered it back then.
Yeah,
but
Pitch Black was awesome.
It's still a good watch,
but
Pitch Black.
I used to fucking love that.
Yeah. They
Filmed in Australia.
They took their time with it too. It was like,
I think that's filmed it. Was that filmed with like Cooper Pedy?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
You're right, Paddy. It was a bit of a slow burn movie, and that's what was great about it. And then Chronicles of Riddick sort of took it to that.
You could almost
action CG green screen spectacle bullshit.
You could say that Pitch Black was on the level of like Alien, that kind of like pacing and the vibe, like the thrillery kind of feel as well.
While we're still riding this horse, Riddick.
Yeah.
You went to the movies and saw Riddick, didn't you, Pat?
Yeah. Yep. I like his character. I love his character. And that game that came out, remember that?
Oh, man, the game that came out.
Escape from Butcher Bay.
Yeah.
And you're in prison.
That was a good game.
That was great.
That was a good,
And there was the other Dark Athena or something as well, which wasn't too bad, but I think for its time, Escape from Butcher Bay was way better.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. Fire off some more. Another bad, terrible sequel. Highlander 2, The Quickening. Now, this was a bad sequel. You guys probably don't know much about this, but...
I remember the first film. I don't think I ever saw the...
Okay, you pretty much, Highlander, the guy turns out to be immortal. He can only die if you cut off his head, right?
Oh,
okay.
Yeah.
Just like this freak of nature kind of thing. Anyway,
Shit.
So in Highlander 2, you find out that the immortals are actually aliens from another planet, and Connor's the only one left. He's now immortal. He has all the knowledge of the universe, and it's set in the future, and he's saved the Earth from bloody fucking carbon monoxide or some shit like that. It's been so long since I've seen it. And then immortals come from the planet wherever he's come from, and he manages to kill one of them. A train runs over its neck or something because he pushed it. So, by association, he's killed this guy. And he becomes young again and becomes immortal. And then for some reason, Sean Connery just turns up at the end on a plane, like he's on a plane flight. And he's like, oh, I'm back from the dead. He's like a Scottish guy playing a Spaniard, Egyptian Spaniard or something like that.
Jesus.
Bad sequel. Yeah. A lot can be said about that. Sausage. I'll have a sausage sandwich with sauce.
Hello, amigo.
The Hangover Part 2 and 3. Now, I liked the first one when it came out.
First one was really good.
Was awesome, yeah.
Sort of one of those ones that sort of came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
So 2 and 3, they were like medium or pretty bad? I can't remember.
3 was just a real departure.
Yeah.
Was it?
Yeah.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
Everyone complained because 2...
two
was too similar to the first. And then everyone complained about the third one because the third was too different.
Yeah.
So, it was one of those movies that should have just been one and done.
Yeah, well, that's kind of what a Bucks night is, isn't it? It's just one
Yeah.
night of pure fury in hell, and then
Look at
just
his eyes.
forget about it. Leave it alone.
Depends how many times you get married, I suppose.
Yeah, I guess so. But that's what they should have done with that film. Just leave it
I got
alone.
one for you.
About your Bucks night.
No.
I remember that night.
Oh, boy.
If anybody wants to
That was a
comment
good night.
and know about PAX Bucks night, just let us know and we
Here we
might
go.
tell you. Might tell you in the future.
Tell us what
Top
happened.
secret.
Best. Pat's. I'll just tell you secretly, bearded listeners. Pat's Bucks night was the best fucking night of my life.
Mine too.
It was the best. Listen to him.
Legendary. Nothing better.
You can write.
Not to do with any of us together, but
No, it was. I was about to say it was nothing better than getting all your mates in one night and just
that
having
was
a blast.
that was the best bloody night. Like we got into Melbourne at 10 o'clock in the morning. Pat, Rich, and I were nearly tanked by 11.
11 a.m. in the morning. And I was like,
what did we drink? I think we necked like 3 pints,
we
and
just
we're all
found this nice
pretty
little
tipsy.
bar. Do you remember? It was like a 1920s styled bar. Like it was really, and then
I was like, "What do you have, Sonny?"
Yeah, yeah. It was like that.
Sarsaparilla.
I'm eating my breakfast at home and getting picture messages from you guys with pints in your hand.
Yeah.
At like 10:30 in the morning.
And then we finally decided to sober up. And then what? I nearly passed out again by 7 p.m.
Yeah, I had to.
And you had to feed like
I had
water
to
into
feed
me?
Pat like 2 pizzas, like 4 hot dogs, and I made him drink like a. Geez, what was it? Fuck, it was about a litre of water. He didn't want to drink it. I was like, you drink this. I didn't fly all the way to Melbourne for you to crash out at 8 o'clock at night. Will drink this.
You guys had to revive me, and
You had a hell of a second win, though.
it's like
Oh,
Battlefield.
yeah.
Came back from the dead.
I was like right back. It was like I was new again, and then we just kept going. We were fine the rest of the night.
Especially later on in the night when we got to the club.
So here's there's the premise for everyone's fan fiction on Paddy. What happened at the Bucks night?
Okay, so we've laid down the foundation.
Yeah,
Now, what do you think happened?
leave it to your imagination.
Join the dots, and we'll tell you how close you got.
But
Okay, bad sequels. Any Transformers sequel, especially
yeah,
Age of Extinction.
Yep.
I've never been so angry going to the cinema because I'm a huge
are the
Transformers fan.
biggest
since I was
Transformers
a kid.
fan, aren't you?
And I was just angry for like nearly 3 hours. And I did this big Facebook rant when I got home.
Yeah.
This is bullshit. I haven't even been to see the new one. I'll buy it when it comes out because I'm a completionist, so.
Yeah.
They're trying really hard to kill off the franchise. They're just
just get rid of Michael Bay. You need to clean it up, cut it down, cut out the bullshit, stupid fucking jokes.
Yeah.
About Transformers farting and stuff. It's not great. Here's one for Pat. Dumb and Dumberer When Harry Met Lloyd.
Yes, that's it. I actually had it on my list here.
Best or worst sequel, Pat?
Yeah,
I actually liked it. That's the best.
That's on my worst sequel list.
Well, I wouldn't say it's better than the first movie, but it's on par. I would actually say I really liked it.
What about the second Dumb and Dumber with Jim Carrey and when they come back?
That's
Dumb and Dumber 2.
So the one after, like back in the 90s still, the sequel.
Yeah, the one they did a couple of years ago.
Oh, you mean the one from now, like recent, that they did as older folk? Yeah. That's the one I thought you were talking about. That's the one I actually quite like.
Oh.
Yeah.
This is the prick one I was talking about that had like Shia LaBeouf in it as well.
Nah, that's the one from the 90s or whatever. Nah, that's not as great. That's not as great. But
it's rubbish.
I actually meant this new one. I like it. I really liked it. It was good.
Alien vs. Predator Requiem, which I kind of like. We've talked about that before.
I kind of like that
movie.
I kind of like that.
No.
Basic Instinct 2.
I don't even remember it.
No, I couldn't remember that.
Sharon Stone trying to still be sexy. Is Sharon Stone ever sexy?
In the 90s, apparently. Yes.
What do you know? You were too busy staying up late watching Terminator 2.
And Sharon Stone.
All the Crow sequels, like City of Angels and...
shit, yeah.
Well... I can't
Edward Furlong was in one of those.
Yeah, he was. I can't say I've really watched maybe more than... Oh, I don't know.
I think I've
seen one or two of the
I think
sequels.
I've caught a couple, like... I don't know. Some of it on late night TV.
Some of them just, like, the covers look so fucking bad that I just never went near them.
Didn't they really drag? Like, they were pretty slow, like the last few, the sequels after that.
No idea.
First one was really good. I love the first one.
First Crow, yeah.
First Crow. But I don't recall many of them after. They must be pretty forgettable.
Okay. Caddyshack 2. I absolutely love and adore Caddyshack. It's one of my favourite comedies of all time.
Yeah.
I love that movie. I can put it on and just have the best time every time I watch it. But Caddyshack 2 is an abomination. Exorcist 2, The Heretic. Superman 4, The Quest for Peace. When Canon Films bought the rights, I think it was with the third and fourth film.
Is that the one with the nuclear man in it?
Yes, Pat. Correct. You get a gold star.
And he's like a bodybuilder dude that probably doesn't know how to act
for shit. Yeah.
So
and they're fighting on the moon.
And the whole movie is just fighting, like, because obviously he doesn't need to act. No story.
Yeah, Canon Films had the rights to those, and the quality was just awful compared to Superman with Dick Donner, the first Superman film. Book of Shadows, Blair Witch 2. That movie gets a bad rap because originally it was meant to be something very different. And there are pieces of that original script in that movie. But then the studio just come in and they're like, no, this is too much of a psychological mindfuck. We just want a straight-up horror movie. Put some gore in there and some boobs.
They didn't even do found footage, did they? It was just it was just a movie.
They did a little bit of found footage in there from... Well, not really found footage, but when they're having their big bloody witch nude orgy thing, they film it and then they replay it. That's as close to found footage as you get.
If I remember right, it had nothing to do with the first movie, really, did it?
That's what spun me out about it, because I only reckon I saw the original movie within the last year. Like, I never got to see it, but it was like one of the most talked about movies ever when we were in high school. And I watched The Blair Witch 2 thinking, well, you know... Maybe it's going to be more of the same. And I watched it and I was like, what the fuck has everyone been raving about? This is like just
shit.
Usual general shit. Yeah. Like, so I never raced back to watch the first one because apparently I was like, well, it must be like that.
The original script for that was incredibly smart. You couldn't tell it from watching the movie as it is now. But yeah, I watched the whole...
For 2?
For the second one. Right. I watched the whole documentary on that. There was so much subtext and hidden stuff in the film and that you'd have to watch it multiple times to piece it all together. But
why don't these directors go back and just do that again with a different title?
I think someone's pieced together from deleted scenes and stuff they've shot, they've pieced together with, I think they've worked in like the original storyboards and that as well, and made as close to a film as they could with what's available to the original script.
Yeah.
Any Police Academy sequel?
Don't remember.
There are 7 Police Academy films.
Whoa.
Many, yeah.
Didn't even know there were that many.
I liked them all when I was a kid. But
they're fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I'm almost out of bad sequels.
What about...
Except for the very worst sequel of all time.
Oh, here we go.
Drum roll.
The very worst sequel of all time is...
Speed 2 Cruise Control.
Oh yes, that's
Speed
really
2.
fucking bad.
I don't remember it even. Speed 1.
It's just so...
Oh, the boat, the ship, Sandra Bullock.
Yeah.
And Jason
That's
Patrick.
right. It had to happen twice, didn't it?
So different. I remember watching it on video.
What are the odds?
Because my dad would go to the video shop and just come back with something that would be fine for everyone to watch. So we used to watch sort of your main blockbuster cinema stuff, but then we also watched like bottom of the barrel, like Z-grade flicks as well. Like one movie I remember him bringing home was like, it's called The Stupids with Tom Arnold, where they're just a family of like stupid people. That's like a Z-grade flick. But I remember him bringing it home and we watching it. But yeah, there was always sort of shit like we video shops. Video shops, guys.
Good times.
Good times. I miss video shops so much.
I got a couple for you if you want to.
Bad sequels, and then we'll move on to the very best of the best.
Yeah, all right.
I got one. Just
yeah,
one,
go.
'cause you got a whole fucking page over there. Never Ending Story 2 and 3.
I saw Never Ending Story 3 at the cinema.
I don't
when
remember.
I was a kid, and it had the what was
Get
it?
your motor running.
Get your motor running.
Are they in the bad?
They're in the really fucking bad.
Oh, really?
They got progressively worse. So Never Ending Story 1 was this dark, like... It was made for kids. It was
I remember it creeped me out.
Yeah, it was a very creepy,
dark fantasy. It's
moody.
like dark German fantasy.
And I would have been like 5.
His horse dies in the swamp,
because he's sad. The swamps of sadness.
Yeah, this is the saddest fucking scene ever. It's like this poor little horse he's died.
Artax.
And fucking and like the big rock golem people are like these kind of big, sad, like. They just had so much character. And then, by the third one, they're getting around on their fucking Flintstones bikes singing fucking...
Get your motor
Bad
running.
to the Bone and shit.
Oh, what?
It was the worst, yeah.
You had that, I forget what his name is, like the wolf monster thing in the first one.
Yeah.
Where it's like hiding in the bushes and he's talking to Atreyu. And then they're like, the whatever it is. I can't remember. It's been a while since I've watched it. But yeah, he's like, I am the one you want. I am Atreyu. And he's like, what? And then he leaps out to like eat him. I'm like, whoa, that's pretty scary.
You know what's the weirdest, freakiest scene of that whole first movie, though? Is where, what's the kid's name? It's Atreyu. Yeah.
And you've got Bastian, who's reading the book.
Where he passes out from, I can't remember what it was, but he woke up in Falco's lair. Is it Falcor?
Falco.
Falcor's lair.
A luck dragon.
Yeah. And he's like, ooh, you look very sleepy. I've taken you back. I've taken care of you. He's like, how long have I been out? He's like, just a couple of days. Falcor's roofied this kid and taken him back to the fucking lair. And he's like...
And he's stoned to shit while he's doing it because Falco's like high as a kite.
And then he's like, how about you give me a rub behind the ears? Ooh, I like that. And he's like rubbing his fucking ears.
Doesn't he have an itch? He's like, I've got a terrible itch. And he's like,
I can't scratch it. Could you scratch it for me? And then he's like, so he's patting him. He's like... Fucking hell, Falcor. I'm like, get out of there, Atreyu. That shit's fucked up.
Fuck watching the rest of American Gods. I'm going to watch Never Ending Story tomorrow.
Yeah.
I got a couple more real quick. Return to the Blue Lagoon. I think I said Exorcist 2, The Heretic. Van Wilder, The Rise of Taj. Triple X, State of the Union. What else? I think that's it. Blues Brothers 2000. Yeah, I think that's it. I think that's all the bad sequels I've got.
We could go on for fucking years with bad sequels. Like, I reckon there's about 30 bad sequels for every one good one.
Yeah.
All right, Pat, here's with a couple real quick, and then we'll do the last few and we'll wrap it up.
Yeah, all right. So I've got like a medium list. And then, but like they're kind of, I didn't know what to think of them. So I'll let you guys decide. So what do you guys think of Ninja Turtles Out of the Shadows? Like the current Michael Bay.
I liked it better than the first one because it was more like the cartoon series.
See, I thought...
Didn't take itself too seriously.
Yeah. They definitely went a bit more Ninja Turtles vibe with it.
Wasn't going to win any Oscars or anything. But
it's not a great sequel, but...
I enjoyed it more than the first one.
Yeah, I thought it was more...
I think I watched it twice the week I bought it.
Yeah, I quite enjoyed that a little, like enough. Not great though. Yeah, did you watch that one, Bobby?
Nah, after the first one,
gave up on it.
Yeah, I was like, nah.
They almost brought it like, made up for the first. Like in that one, that's what I thought.
I do like that movie. I had fun with
Still, their looks, the way they look, I don't really like the way they look.
I fucking hate the way they look.
Yeah, their faces
they look
and
better
stuff.
in the second than they did the first one.
Yeah.
They toned all that shit down that made, like, let's have a couple of things that make them unique. But in the first one, they're like, let's have everything that makes them unique.
Yeah.
So he's got sunglasses and a bandana, and he's wearing 6 different necklaces, and he's got 4 different pairs of sunglasses, and he's got tattoos, and, oh, God.
All
Too
that
much.
actually doesn't bother me. It's just their actual, like, they're fucking ugly.
Yeah, they're ugly.
So
as
ugly.
shit. And they're like furthest away from the classics that it's just made all the fans just furious. Like
worst interpretation of Splinter ever.
Oh my god, that was the worst.
And the fact
I'm going to learn ninjutsu by this book that I found while I was sweeping
little
the sewer.
handbook. Yeah.
What a mighty ninja you are.
While my turtles are over here watching Gwen Stefani videos.
They could have just come up with something better than that.
All right, Pat, what's next?
Well, I thought of a sequel that I actually really like, and I think you'll probably agree, is the Cloverfield. What was it? The sequel to Cloverfield. What was it
10
called?
Cloverfield Lane.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, that was
a surprise.
That was polarizing, though. I remember hearing a lot of people didn't like that movie because it wasn't more Cloverfield. But then a lot of people loved it because it wasn't more Cloverfield.
Yeah.
I wouldn't really call it a sequel. It's more of an
universe,
an episode in an anthology series.
Yeah, true.
But it's close enough to a sequel. We'll say, fuck it, it's our show. That's a sequel for the concept of this episode. I really like that movie.
Yeah. It was.
I even like the alien stuff at the end. Spoiler alert.
Yeah, me too. I really like it.
I didn't, but like I enjoyed 90% of that movie.
John Goodman, man. Oof.
Yeah, great.
Fuck yeah.
And then one more I thought of was the bunch of sequels is Toy Story. I thought, they
Toy
are
Story
great.
3. Fuck, man.
Yeah.
That is one of the best sequels ever.
Exactly. It was awesome.
I cried like a baby at the cinema at the end of that movie.
How did I not fucking remember that?
I got all weepy.
And they're bringing it back, aren't they? They're doing a 4.
Yeah, Toy Story 4 will be out in 2 years.
I don't know.
I'm so
about
excited
that.
for that.
I want to be, but I'm like...
You know what they'll do,
3
though?
was perfectly, like, ended. It was
Yeah.
perfect.
Capped it perfectly.
But you know what they'll do? The 4th will be... I don't even know if they'll bring back the original kind of toy characters, but... they've passed it on to the new little girl. Spoiler alert. I should have had the spoiler alert there. But, there's another little kid in the
trailer,
mix.
Then it's fine.
Yeah, they'll have more adventures like Woody, Buzz, all those guys.
Kind of passed down, so,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Happy to see more.
Yeah, I just hope it doesn't fizzle, because, like, as a trilogy, that stands really, really high.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Although I do find these days, Pixar or Disney, any animations that are made these days, I can't think of any that are flops. Like, they're all good. Like, everyone that comes out, I find are just really enjoyable to watch. Even the current
They're on a
ones.
really good hot streak there for a while, but yeah, there were a couple that were sort of like I haven't seen The Good Dinosaur or
maybe Brave
Inside Out.
isn't such a solid one, but
Brave had a lot of
it's good.
a lot of promise, and it didn't really deliver on like what it was kind of selling. I think that was the problem with that. Yeah,
But everything else is. I love The Good Dinosaur. Mason makes me watch that a bunch of times, but I still don't really get sick of it.
that's one that actually critically flopped. Like, I think
Really?
well,
Really?
well, yeah.
Wow.
Like, say
Kids
like
love it,
in
though.
the box office. And
I
stuff,
love that
don't
whole
think-
story.
I don't think it did particularly well. I think part of it was probably delays and came out at a bad time. But yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah.
all right.
Didn't know that.
I'm going to throw out a couple more best sequels.
Go nuts, mate.
I'm going to start. All right. Undisputed 3 Redemption.
Oh, yes.
Now, 8 years ago when I was writing reviews for Impulse Gamer, they used to send out this email where it just had the list of DVDs, and it was the first in, best dressed. So everyone, you try to jump on the big blockbusters or whatever, the good TV shows, but someone always beat you to it. So there was this martial arts movie, it's called Undisputed 3 Redemption, and I got that, and I watched it. Holy fuck, you think straight to DVD movie is going to be shit, not this one. Fucking sick, absolutely fucking sick. And then I'm like, Paddy likes bloody martial arts movies, I'm going to tell him, I'm going to message him and tell him to watch it. Message him, tell him to watch it. Best, you loved it, didn't you?
It was sick enough that you got a tattoo. You actually dedicated yourself to it. You are dedicated to that movie
on my
now.
arm. I do, yeah.
It is that good.
To come full circle, tomorrow night, Patrick and I were getting together and watching what is it? Boyka Undisputed.
Yep.
Which is
4.
the next sequel.
And we've waited 8 years for the
waiting.
sequel it's taken them to make.
And we got it last week and we're like, no, we have to watch it together. So
and hold hands.
Yes, under the doona.
What do you love about it? I haven't seen it.
It's Boyka all around.
Great character, great fight scenes. Scott Adkins is a martial artist, so black belt and everything.
Badass. Just
the fight scenes are awesome. The characters are cool. Yeah, you think straight to DVD is just going to be shit like Van Damme and Cuba Gooding Jr.
What is it? Kind of like a Rocky sort of thing? Like
it's like underground, like prison fighting, like prisoners in.
It's R-rated.
Yeah, there's like
kind of stuff,
like a prison tournament. So they take all the best fighters from each prison, and they have this big prison tournament, and everyone bets on. It's like this underground sort of thing, and whoever wins their freedom or whatever.
You know what I like best about those like the Boyka series, all of these, is what really grabs me is the fact that he is like Boyka himself, Scott Adkins. It's almost like a Terminator thing. How Arnold Schwarzenegger in the first one, he's bad. Like he is, going to kill everything. But then somehow, I don't know how they did it. They flipped him around. He's the good guy. That's what they do with Scott Adkins and Boyka. Like the where's his first appearance?
In the second film, he's the villain. He's the main villain.
Bad.
But then in the third film, he becomes the main character,
Redemption.
the lead.
Yeah.
And he goes through, this, the subtitle is Redemption. So he goes through, he realizes, because he gets his leg broken.
What is he in the first one?
He's
not in the first one.
So he just hijacked the whole thing.
So he's hijacked
appears in the
franchise.
second as the main big badass.
Yeah, he's the
fucking brute.
He's like the top fighter in the prison. And Michael Jai White,
and he's threatening
as well.
He can beat everyone.
What about the first one? Does that sit well, or is that kind of like?
I've never seen the first one. First one has Wesley Snipes and
oh really?
And
who else was in it? What's his name from Ving Rhames?
Oh yeah,
Ving Rhames is in it, and then Undisputed 2 is the same character from the first one. I think played by Wesley Snipes, but Michael Jai White plays that character. And he's out of prison, but then he gets framed for whatever and sent to prison because they want him in this tournament to fight Boyka, who is like the prison champion.
Yeah.
The greatest fighter in the world, self-proclaimed.
Yeah.
And the third one, he becomes the main character, and he takes off, and it's just so cool.
And that really soaks you in. It really makes you like his character after, he's a villain. You actually kind of hate him after the second, and then when the third brings it in, he's
like this broken man in the third one. Like everyone treats him like dirt. Like he's like scrubbing toilets.
They call him
he's fallen from grace.
Champion of the toilets.
Yeah, they call him champion of the toilets.
That's what they call him.
And he's the lowest of the low, and then he has this big comeback, this redemption. The error of his ways and everything. And the Raid 2, Captain America: The Winter Soldier, and Civil War.
Oh
yeah,
yes.
Star Trek 2: The Wrath of Khan, Evil Dead 2.
Oh yeah,
Army of Darkness.
Yep.
And The Dark Knight.
Sorry. Yep. Is that your number one, you'd say? Top?
Nah, it's just at the top of the list because that's the sequel that everyone's like, oof, that was a bloody good movie.
Yeah.
Bloody good sequel.
I was just watching today the documentary on Heath Ledger, the one they did recently.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I was still yet to watch the rest of it, but it's really interesting. It just made me think of how great he was in that role as the Joker. He nailed that.
I don't know. What can you say about The Dark Knight that hasn't already been said? Fucking great sequel.
Yeah, they really pulled that off. I don't think they could have done it better. I'd say the Joker really held that together, the whole movie. That's the touch. That's that one thing.
If you took him out, it would
it'd just be a normal Hollywood kind of movie. Not Hollywood, but you know what I mean. Like
it would have been just like the one Batman Begins, is it? Came before it. Like relatively pretty good, solid movie, but not like an instant classic. Like it still sits, you know. His
character was just solid. It just really interesting to watch. Really drew you in. It was awesome.
I think that's it. Unless anyone else has got some. Oh, might do games real quick. Great game sequels. Gears of War 2.
Yep. And
3. Yeah, 3 was really good. Batman Arkham City.
Yep.
Sonic the Hedgehog 2.
Yep.
Shinobi 3, Return of the Ninja Master. That's a great game. Love that game. What else?
Mario 3.
Fallout 3.
Yep.
Grand Theft Auto 3.
See, games generally, their sequels are generally better because, like, it's probably hard.
Mass Effect Andromeda.
Yeah, it is. It's probably harder to list like many games that actually get worse with time because you're on that gradient upwards of technology.
And all the engines get better and upgrades and they have to be better. That's their goal, really, isn't it? And game developers just have to make it look and play better.
Assassin's Creed 2. Great. Assassin's Creed 3. Fucking shit.
Yep. Uncharted, I'd say all of them just... hang on.
Uncharted
I'd say 2 is the best.
2 is the golden fucking...
Yes.
And then I'd say the rest are pretty solid after that, but not 2.
Uncharted 2 was the first sort of current-ish generation game that as soon as I finished, I started another game. As soon as the credits finished, I started another game.
Yep.
I think I did too.
Yeah.
The scene on the train.
Yeah.
You actually where you're running across the train and then you're getting toward the front and the helicopter comes and oh man.
So good. Yeah, that's a hard game to beat.
Captures that real Indiana Jones kind of thing all the way through. Like,
had heart too. Like that whole game. Like, really just solid.
Yeah.
Really
Bloody good game, that.
And all the Grand Theft Autos. Don't forget them. They just get better as they go. Mainly because they expand. You know, their cities are large.
Red Dead Redemption 2, baby.
Yeah.
Can't wait.
Bearded Geeks will be on hiatus for a month when Red Dead Redemption 2 comes out.
You already know that's going to be best.
6 months.
That'll be the best sequel.
No more Battlefield after that.
No more Patrick Brown after that.
We'll be fucking riding posses.
Oh, yeah.
Robbing stagecoaches.
It's going to kill me inside every time I see you guys on the chat and you'll be like, we're about to like ride off with our posse and I'm just sitting there working and you guys will.
We're about to steal this train. We're going to rob a train.
Oh, that was awesome. I'll be like crying on the side and doing work.
We might wrap it up.
Yeah, cool. Sounds good.
All right, Bobby Baxter, people want to find you online. If they want to get a Brown Fury sequel, where can they go?
Nowhere for a sequel yet. There's only one. But BobbyBaxter.com. It's got it all there. So, yep.
Patrick Brown?
PatrickBrownArt.com. That's my official website. You could probably find me on Facebook too.
Probably.
If you have a look. Patrick Brown Art. Just Patrick Brown Art. Yeah.
If anybody wants to see some photos from Patrick's Bucks night, let me know. I got quite a few. I'll post them on Instagram.
Shit.
You can find the Bearded Geeks on Facebook, facebook.com/BeardedGeeksPod. The Bearded Geeks. What are we? Bearded Geeks on Instagram, at Bearded Geeks Pod on Twitter, and the Bearded Geeks on TeePublic if you want to buy a t-shirt or some sweet stickers for your car that your mum bought you. She probably wouldn't want you to put stickers on your car. Maybe on your notebook at school or something like that. And show all your friends that you like the Bearded Geeks podcast.
Just put it on other people's cars.
Yes, put it on other people's cars. Traffic lights. Be like those shit red herring stickers they always put everywhere.
Yeah, everywhere here.
On the signs, It's just a Tasmanian thing because we can't get any further.
Do they just pay a crew of people to drive around every fucking where and stick stickers on stuff?
They just hand out boxes of stickers to 3 different cars. They're like, you go that way, you go that way, you go that way.
I was like on that trip down to Rosebery a few weeks back for that party, every fucking sign's got a red herring sticker on it. I couldn't believe it. That's also a Tasmanian thing. That's nowhere else.
It's only Tassie, man.
Yeah.
The apple isle. Last week I mentioned that we were going to have an article in our local paper, which we did. Had beautiful photo of me in it.
Oh, delicious.
It turned out it was an entire fucking page.
Yeah.
A whole page article. Patrick Brown, marvelised Patrick Brown's been in the paper quite a few times. He's never had a full page article. He's only been relegated half a page at most. I got a full page though. No, it was really good. Really good write-up.
Better looking. So.
Yeah. I'm proud of you, mate.
Thanks, mate. No, it was a really good write-up of by Peter Wursu from The Examiner, so thanks, Peter. Really enjoyed it. If you want to find it, it's on Facebook and Instagram stuff. I shared the hell out of it, so it's not hard to find if you want to read it. But, yeah, that's about it. Next week, War for the Planet of the Apes.
Yes.
Caesar.
I'm excited. I am so excited.
Waiting for me to say something clever. I got nothing. I'm sick.
Heard a mild growl
Sick,
there.
mate. All right, we having our cold rock date. Are we going to the ice cream shop?
Oh, I think I need to.
That's like
It's
9:15 at
killing
night.
me.
We're going to get ice cream.
Oh, yeah. I'm in. I'm down.
All right.
Yes.
From all of us here in the Big Cave, we want to thank everyone who likes and shares and subscribes. And yeah, next week, War for the Planet of the Apes. We'll see you all next week on the Bearded Geeks. Bobby Baxter, Patrick Brown, he might be if he gets his check.
Oh, I'm here.
He keeps demanding his check. And I'm like, no! Free appearances. So, yeah, fan fiction, Patrick Brown's Bucks Night.
Yes.
What happened?
Please.
Or even some fan art.
Ooh.
Oh.
Does that mean we have to clarify?
No, we won't go into specifics, but if anyone gets close, we might hint at it. So thanks, everyone. We'll see you all next week. Hey! Patrick Brown fanfiction, make it happen.